Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitamscha Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnanajana Shalakaya Shakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurvabhistam Supuragam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujwalam Bharatanam Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwaguruncha Divyad Bhagavat Premna Vibijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarkachelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Vandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishwara Shridaram Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevaja Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila chapter 6, the liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And yesterday we heard how Mahaprabhu, when the devotees complained about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that he was not recognizing Mahaprabhu, indirectly they were saying he couldn't recognize that Mahaprabhu was the Supreme Lord, and that he was and that Sarvabhauma wanted to Bhattacharya wanted to instruct Mahaprabhu, get him into a superior sampradaya, because he considered the Bharati sampradaya wasn't elevated enough, and he wanted to protect him by teaching him Vedanta Sutra. The devotees didn't like that position of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, but Mahaprabhu said, "What's wrong? He's trying to help me. He sees I'm a young sannyasi. He's trying to protect me." So then Sarvabhauma began speaking on Vedanta Sutra philosophy for 7 days, and Mahaprabhu didn't say anything. And on the eighth day, Sarvabhauma was disturbed, and he says, "I can't tell if you understand or not because you don't ask any questions." And Mahaprabhu said, "Well, you're right, I don't understand." And then Sarvabhauma said, "Well, then how will you understand if you don't ask any questions? How will you understand the Vedanta Sutra?" So then Mahaprabhu revealed his mind and says, "Oh, I understand the Vedanta Sutra fine, because the Vedanta Sutra is self-evident. What I don't understand is your commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra. You seem determined to cover the Vedanta Sutra's real meaning with your own imaginative comments." And then Mahaprabhu now is in the point of explaining to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya why Mahaprabhu rejects the Sharirak Bhashya of Shankaracharya as an explanation, because it's impersonal and it doesn't recognize the Lord. So I'll start a few verses back with text number 153, where Mahaprabhu says, "Svabhavika teen shakti jai brahma hoy, nishta nishati ka kori tare korahanis joy." The Supreme Personality of Godhead has three primary potencies. Are you trying to prove that he has no potencies? Vishnu Shakti para prokta chetra gyakya tata para avidya karma samgyanya tritiya shakti ishyate. This is from the Vishnu Purana. The internal potency of the Supreme Lord Vishnu is spiritual, as verified by the Shastras. There is another spiritual potency known as Kshetragya, or the living entity. The third potency, which is known as nescience, makes the living entity godless and fills him with fruitive activity. So then we understand there's, as stated in the Vishnu Purana, Mahaprabhu is explaining there are three potencies: the spiritual potency, or the Chit Shakti, the material potency, which here is known as nescience, or Maya, or we can say avidya potency. And the third is the Tatastha Shakti, here mentioned as Kshetragya, because the Bhagavad Gita refers to the living entity as, in this world, as the knower of the Kshetra, which is the field of activities. The living entity knows his own body. He identifies with the body. Then continuation. Yaya Kshetragya Shakti Sa Veshtitani Pasarvaga Samsaratapan Akilan Avapnoti Yatra Sandatan. O king, the Kshetragya Shakti is the living entity. Although he has the facility to live in either the material or the spiritual world, he suffers the threefold miseries of material existence because he is influenced by the avidya, nescience potency, which covers his constitutional position. So there, Mahaprabhu he's engaged in refuting Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's conclusions of impersonalism, saying that the Lord has different energies, different potencies. Taya tiro hitatvatscha shakti kshetragya samgita sarvabhuteshu bhupala taratam yena vartate. The living entity, covered by the influence of nescience, exists in different forms in the material condition. O king, he is thus proportionately freed from the influence of material energy to a greater or lesser degree. Now, what are the greater or lesser degrees? Maybe somebody who's situated in the mode of goodness, sattva gun, has a little more vision, and someone in nescience or tamagun, the mode of ignorance, is more covered over. But then just, it says here, is freed from the influence of material energy to a greater or lesser degree. But everyone is ultimately influenced by the modes of material nature. Ladini sandini samvit tvayeka sarva samshraye ladatapa kuri mishra tvayi no gunavarjite. The Supreme Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha. This means that he originally has three potencies: the pleasure potency, the potency of eternality, and the potency of knowledge. Ladini, Satvit, and Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. Ladini, pleasure potency. Sandini is the knowledge potency. No, that's Samvit is the knowledge potency, and Sandini is the eternity potency. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Satchidananda Vigraha. This means that he originally has three potencies: the pleasure potency, the potency of eternality, and the potency of knowledge. Together, these are called the Chit potency, and they are present in full in the Supreme Lord. For the living entities who are part and parcel of the Lord, the pleasure potency in the material world is sometimes displeasing and sometimes mixed. This is not the case with the Supreme Lord, because he is not under the influence of the material energy or its modes. The living entity is subject to the dualities of the material nature, whereas the Lord is not influenced by the modes of material nature. Satchidanandamoy hoy Ishwara Swarup Teen Amshe Chit Shakti hoy Tinarup. The Supreme Lord in his original form is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. The spiritual potency in these three portions, Satchidananda and Ananda, assumes three different forms. Now, that was what we heard previously about Ladini, Sandini, Samvit, the three forms of pleasure, potency of eternality, and the potency of knowledge. Anam dam she ladini sad she sandini shid she sambit jare jnana korimani. The three portions of the spiritual potency are called ladini, the bliss portion, sandini, the eternity portion, and sambit, the knowledge portion. We accept knowledge of these as full knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Antaranga Chit Shakti Tatasta Jiva Shakti Bahiranga Maya Teen Kore Prema Bhakti. The spiritual potency of the Lord also appears in three phases: internal, marginal, and external. These are all engaged in his devotional service and love. Antaranga is the Chit Shakti, Tatasta, or marginal, is the Jiva Shakti, and Bahiranga, the external, is Maya, Teen Kore Prema Bhakti. They're all engaged in the service of the Lord. Even Maya is engaged in the service of the Lord, because it's mentioned, Daivi Yesha Guna Mayi Mama Maya Duratya. That Maya is Daivi Prakriti. She's empowered by the Lord to cause the illusion of the forgetful living entities. Okay. Very beautiful. All right. Sadvida Aishvarya Prabhur Chit Shakti Vilas Hena Shakti Nahiman Paramasahas. In his spiritual potency, the Supreme Lord enjoys 6 kinds of opulences. You do not accept this spiritual potency, and this is due to your great impudence. So Mahaprabhu, very strongly speaking to Sarvabhauma, he showed so much respect to him. But now when it comes to philosophy, he's, like it says, Sadvida Aishvarya Prabhu Chid Shakti Vilas Hena Shakti Nahiman Paramasahas. And Paramasahas means your extreme impudence. So he's talking, in his spiritual potency, the Supreme Lord enjoys 6 kinds of opulences. You do not accept this spiritual potency, and this is due to your great impudence. The Supreme Personality of God is full with 6 opulences. All of these potencies are on the transcendental platform. To understand the Supreme Lord as impersonal and devoid of potency is to go completely against Vedic information. Of course, those 6 opulences are beauty, wealth, power, or strength, beauty, wealth, power, knowledge, fame, and renunciation. Maya Disha, Maya Vasa, Ishvara Jive Bed, Hena Jive Ishvara Saha, Kahata Abed. The Lord is the master of the potencies, and the living entity is a servant of them. That is the difference between the Lord and the living entity. However, you declare that the Lord and the living entities are one and the same. Gita Shastre Jiva Rup, Shakti Korimane, Hena Jive Beda Kora, Ishvarer Sane. In the Bhagavad Gita, the living entity is established as the marginal potency of the Lord, yet you say that the living entity is completely different from the Lord. Bhumerapo nalo vayu, kammano buddhirevacha, hankara iti yamme, bina prakritir ashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego are my 8-fold separated energies. Aparayamitastvanyam prakritim vidime param jivabhutam mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat. Besides these inferior energies, which are material, there is another energy, a spiritual energy, and this is the living entity, O mighty armed one. The entire material world is sustained by the living entities. So if we see what Mahaprabhu is establishing, he's establishing to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya his philosophy of Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. The living entity has the same qualities of the Lord, but the living entity is subservient to the Lord because the Lord is the master of all energies and the living entity is controlled by those energies. and controlled by the modes of nature, different than the Lord. But you cannot say that the living entity is, that the living entity is completely distinct from the Lord, and therefore, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wants to, here we go again. Ishvare Shri Vigraha Satchidanandakar Se Vigrahe Koha Sattva Gunara Vikar. The transcendental form of the Lord is complete in eternity, cognizance, and bliss. However, you describe this transcendental form as a product of material goodness. Shri Vigraha Jaina Mani Seta Pashandi Adrisha Sprisha Se Hoy Jamadandi. One who does not accept the transcendental form of the Lord is certainly an agnostic. Such a person should neither be seen nor touched. Indeed, he is subject to be punished by Yamaraj. Vedas na mania bodha hoita nastika Vedashraya nastikya Vada Bodhake Adhika. The Buddhists do not recognize the authority of the Vedas, therefore they are considered agnostics. However, those who have taken shelter of the Vedic scriptures yet preach agnosticism in accordance with the Mayavad philosophy are certainly more dangerous than the Buddhists. Jivanishtara Lagi Sutra Koilavyas Mayavadi Bhashya Shunile Hoy Sarvanash. Srila Vyasadeva presented the Vedanta philosophy for the deliverance of the conditioned souls, but if one hears the commentary of Shankaracharya, everything is spoiled. Parinamavad Vyasa Sutrera Samata Achintya Shakti Ishvara Jagadrupe Parinata. The Vedanta Sutra aims at establishing that the cosmic manifestation has come into being by the transformation of the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Lord. So this is the real conclusion, that the cosmic manifestation consists of the potency of the Lord. Mani Jaichya Akritye Mani Jaichya Abhikritye Prasabe Hemabar Jagadrupa Hoy Ishvara Tabu Abhikar. The touchstone, after touching iron, produces volumes of gold without being changed. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself as a cosmic manifestation by his inconceivable potency, yet he remains unchanged in his eternal divine form, or his eternal transcendental form. Vyasa Branta Bodhise Sutre Dosha Diya Vivartavad Stapi Jache Kalpana Korea. Shankaracharya's theory states that the absolute truth is transformed. By accepting this theory, the Mayavadi philosophers denigrate Srila Vyasadeva by accusing him of error. Thus they find fault in the Vedanta Sutra and interpret it to try to establish the theory of illusion. So this is why the Mayavadis reject the idea that individuality, material nature, etc., exists, because they say that would be a transformation of Brahma, and Brahma is not transformable. And they, by talking about, and then they accuse Vedavyas of being in error in his conclusions, but that defeats their own position, because the Vedas are accepted because the Vedavyas is a literary incarnation of the Lord, and he's not subject to error. The living entity subject to is in illusion, cheating propensity, his senses are limited, and makes mistakes, but that is not something you will accuse that the Vedas contain those errors, or that Vedavyas is an ordinary human being. But so Mahaprabhu is saying that Shankaracharya, he actually says that Vedavyas made mistakes in presenting, what we will consider the conclusions of, that the living entity, the Lord exists, and the living entity, and also the Maya Shakti. That these would be transformations of Brahma, and that's not possible. So Mahaprabhu continues, Jiver dehe atma buddhi se mitya hoy, jagat jay mitya nahi, nashvara matra hoy. The theory of illusion can be applied only when the living entity identifies himself with the body. As far as the cosmic manifestation is concerned, it cannot be called false, although it is certainly temporary. So the only illusion that exists is when one falsely identifies himself or herself with the material body as being the real identity. Otherwise, that the material existence exists, or that material nature exists, that's not the illusion. It's not that this table, that these walls, that everything that we see, it's not that it's just some illusion, like some non-substantial dream. But that's Mayavad philosophy. Pranava Jay Mahabhakya Ishvarera Murti Pranava Hoite Sarva Veda Jagat Utpati. The transcendental vibration Omkar is the sound form of the Supreme Lord. All Vedic transcendental vibration Omkara is the sound form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All Vedic knowledge and this cosmic manifestation are produced from this sound representation of the Supreme Lord. So in all the Vedic scriptures, we'll see that Om is there, and it's the principal sound vibration of the Lord. In the Gayatri mantras and everything, we'll find Om present. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj said Om is very positive. It means that yes, what you're looking for exists. But the Mayavadis don't accept that Om as being the principal vibration. They say Tattvamasi Jiva Hetu Pareshika Vakya Pranavanamani Tari Kohe Mahavakya. The subsidiary vibration, Tattvamasi, you are the same, is meant for the understanding of the living entity, but the principal vibration is Omkara. Not caring for Omkara, Shankaracharya stressed the vibration, Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi is not the principal vibration, because Tattvamasi, it only carries half of the truth. Tattvamasi, you are the same as the Lord. That's part of it, but also you are simultaneously different than the Lord. Simultaneously one with and different than the Lord. But the Mayavadis only accept the simultaneously one with, but not different. So Mahaprabhu says to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the subsidiary vibration, Tattvamasi, you are the same, is meant for the understanding of the living entity, but the principal vibration is Omkara. Not caring for Omkara, Shankaracharya has stressed the vibration Tattvamasi. Emate kalpita bhashes shatadosha dila Bhattacharya purva paka apara korila. Thus Chaitanya Mahaprabhu criticized Shankaracharya's Sharirak Bhashya as imaginary, and he pointed out hundreds of faults in it. To defend Shankaracharya, however, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya presented unlimited opposition. Excuse me. Vitanda chala nigrahadi aneka utaila sabkhandi prabhu nija mata seistapila. The Bhattacharya presented various types of false arguments with pseudo-logic and tried to defeat his opponent in many ways. However, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refuted all these arguments and established his own conviction. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya used all kinds of false arguments trying to defeat Mahaprabhu, like arguing with Mahaprabhu, trying to intimidate Mahaprabhu. something like, "You're just a boy. What do you know? How can you, doing intimidation, trying to, Srila Sridhar Maharaj explained that. He tried to defeat Mahaprabhu by any means possible to win an argument. But Mahaprabhu defeated everything that Sarvabhauma presented. Bhagavad Sambandha Bhakti Abhide Hoy Prema Prayojana Vede Tina Vastu Koi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the central point of all relationships. Acting in devotional service to Him is one's real occupation, and the attainment of the love of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. These three subject matters are described in the Vedic literature. So this has always been Mahaprabhu's conclusion, that the Vedas present the sambandha, one's relationship with the Lord, that everyone is a jiva, an eternal servant of the Lord, that the way of satisfying that relationship, that you are the eternal servant of the Lord, that's your relationship. Abhideya is the means of satisfying that relationship by engaging in devotional service or bhakti, and prema prayojana. Prema is the goal of life, to attain love of Godhead. And Mahaprabhu has established that these three subjects are the whole principle. This is what's going on in the Vedic literature, and that includes the Vedanta Sutra. Arajeje Kichukohe Sakala E Kalpana Svata Pramana Veda Bhake Kalpena Lakana. If one tries to explain the Vedic literature in a different way, one is indulging in imagination. Any interpretation of the self-evident Vedic version is simply imaginary. Archera dosha nahi ishvara agya koila adeva kalpana kori nastika shastra koila. Actually, there is no fault on the part of Shankaracharya. He simply carried out the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He had to imagine some kind of interpretation, and therefore he presented a kind of Vedic literature that is full of atheism. But he did that. He was actually empowered by the Lord to do that. So then, Swagamai Kalpitais Tvamcha Janan Mad Vimukan Guru Mamcha Gopaya Yenashat Shishtir Esho Tarotara. Addressing Lord Shiva, the Lord said, please make the general populace averse to me by imagining your own interpretation of the Vedas. Also cover me in such a way that people will take more also cover me in such a way that people will take more interest in advancing material civilization just to propagate a population bereft of spiritual knowledge. So the Lord has told Lord Shiva to do this. Please make the general populace averse to me by imagining your own interpretation of the Vedas. Also cover me in such a way that people will take more interest in advancing material civilization just to propagate a population bereft of spiritual knowledge. Mayavadam asachastram prachanam bodham uchate mayaiva vihitam devi kalo brahmana murtina. Lord Shiva addressed Goddess Durga, the superintendent of the material world. In the age of Kali, I take the form of a Brahmin and explain the Vedas through false scripture in an atheistic way, similar to Buddhist philosophy. We understand that Mayavad philosophy is like Buddhism, which was prevalent before the Mayavad philosophy was presented by Shankaracharya. And it brings people to the point of referring to the Vedas but not understanding the Vedas. But it's like a very similar to the prevalent Buddhism.
The way I think I was explained to it, or in Salt Lake City they explained it to me, was that Lord Buddha had come and rejected Vedas due to all the abuse, and Shankaracharya was kind of reintroducing them.
That's it. That's the conclusion. First, the people were doing things wrong, and they were, using the so-called Gomeda and also Ashram horse and cow sacrifices to just justify eating meat, then Lord Buddha said, stop this, stop this violence. You are misusing the Vedas. And they said, but the Vedas say that these sacrifices are all right. Then Buddha said, I don't accept the Vedas. I don't accept the Vedas if that's what you say is in the Vedas. So he presented his philosophy and just rejected the false conclusion that they were giving in the Vedas by saying, I don't accept the Vedas. Then Shankaracharya came and brought the people closer to the original truth by presenting that transformed Buddhism or impersonalism supposedly based on the Vedas, establishing Nirvishesh Brahman, which is very close to Buddhism. And then Mahaprabhu brought the people back to the correct understanding of the Vedas by presenting Sambandha Abhidheya and Prayoja. Shuni Bhattacharya hoila parama vishmita, mukena nishare vani hoila stambita. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very much astonished upon hearing this. He became stunned and said nothing. Prabhu kohe Bhattacharya nakora vishmoy, bhagavane bhakti parama purusharta hoy. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told him, do not be astonished. Actually, devotional service unto the Lord is the highest perfection of human activity. Atmarama parjantam kori ishvara bhajana aiche achintya bhagavanera gunagana. Even the self-satisfied sages perform devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Such are the transcendental qualities of the Lord. They are full of inconceivable spiritual potency. Atmarama chamunayo nirgranta apiyorukrame korvantiya haitukim bhaktim itam bhuta guno hari. And so Mahaprabhu says, don't be astonished. Even those who are completely realized, they are still attracted by the Lord. And then he cites the Atmarama verse. He says, those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service of Sri Krishna, whose qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of God, it is called Krishna because he has such transcendentally attractive features. Atma Ramas Chamunayo Nirgranta Piyarukrame Korvanti Haitukim Bhaktim Itam Bhuta Guno Hari. Shuni Bhattacharya Kohe Shuna Mahashai Eshlokera Arta Shunite Vansha Hoy. After hearing the Atmarama verse, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya addressed Mahaprabhu, my dear sir, please explain this verse. I have a great desire to hear your explanation of it. Prabhu kohe tumi ki arta kora taha agishuni pachayami koriba arta jeba kachujani. Okay. Prabhu kohe tumiki arta korataha ageshuni pachayami koriba arta jeva kichujani. The Lord replied, first let me hear your explanation. After that I shall try to explain what little I know. So Srila Govinda Maharaj said this is also Srila Sridhar Maharaj's way of engaging in discussion with somebody. First you present your idea, then I'll add something. So then Sarvabhauma is trying to regain his prestige. He's heard Shankaracharya defeated his philosophy, rejected by Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu's establishing that actually the real commentary of the Vedas is also contained within the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he cites the Atmarama verse that even self-realized persons are attracted by the Lord. And Sarvabhauma is saying, oh, I also would like to hear that explanation. Then Mahaprabhu says, yes, I'll give that. But first you say, you comment what your understanding is. So, in other words, we can say indirectly, Sarvabhauma he's being set up that Mahaprabhu's going to defeat him completely. Prabhu kohe tumiki arta korataha ageshuni pacheami koriba arta jebikichu jani. The Lord replied, first let me hear your explanation. After that, I shall try to explain what little I know. Shuni Bhattacharya shloka korila vyakyan tarka shastra mata utai vivida vidan. Sarvabhauma then began to explain the Atmarama verse, and according to the principles of logic, he put forward various propositions. Nababhida artha koila shastra mata loya shuni prabhu kohekichu ishadhasya. The Bhattacharya explained the Atmarama verse in 9 different ways on the basis of scripture. After hearing his explanation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, smiling a little, began to speak. Bhattacharya jani tumi sakat brihaspati shastra vyakya kurite aiche karo nahi shakti. Mahaprabhu said, my dear Bhattacharya, you are exactly like Brihaspati, the priest of the heavenly kingdom. Indeed, no one within the world has the power to explain the scriptures in such a way. So he presented, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained it according to logic, 9 different ways. Kintu tumi arta koile panditya pratibhai ihabai shlokarache aro apiprai. My dear Bhattacharya, you have certainly explained this verse by the prowess of your vast learning, but you should know that besides this scholarly explanation, there is another purport to this verse. Bhattacharya pratanate prabhu vyakya koila tara nava arta madhya ek na chunila. Upon the request of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu then began to explain the verse without touching upon the 9 explanations given by the Bhattacharya. Atmaramascha shloke ekadasha parahoy pritak koila pader arta nishchoy. There are 11 words in the Atmarama verse, and Mahaprabhu explained each word one after the other. Tat para prapadye tat para pradanye atmarama milaya ashtadasha arta koila abhiprayaloya. Mahaprabhu took each word specifically and combined it with the word Atmarama. He thus explained the word Atmarama in 18 different ways. Bhagavan Tara Shakti Tara Gunagan Achintya Prabhavatiner Najai Katan. Mahaprabhu said the Supreme Lord has different potencies, and his qualities all have inconceivable prowess. It is not possible to explain them fully. Anya Jat Sadya Saran Kori Achadan Etini Hare Siddha Sadakaraman. These 3 items attract the mind of a perfect student engaged in spiritual activities and overcome all other processes of spiritual activity. Sanakari Sukadeva Tahate Praman Hematananat Arta Korana Vyakyan. Mahaprabhu explained the meaning of the verse by giving evidence concerning Sukadeva Goswami and the 4 rishis, Sanaka, Sanat Kumar, Sanatana, and Sanandana. Thus the Lord gave various meanings and explanations, and he gave these examples of persons who were self-realized, who were situated beyond the modes of material nature, but were still attracted by the Lord. Shuni Bhattacharya Mani Hoila Chamatkar Prabhuke Krishna Jani Kori Apanadikar. Upon hearing Mahaprabhu's explanation of the Atmarama verse, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was struck with wonder. He then understood Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be Krishna in person, and he thus condemned himself in the following words. Ihota Sakat Krishna Mui Najaniya Maha Aparad Koinu Garbita Hoya. Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is certainly Lord Krishna himself. Because I could not understand him and was very proud of my own learning, I have committed many offenses. Atmaninda Kori Loila Prabhura Sharan Kripa Kori Bari Tabe Prabhu Hoylaman, when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya denounced himself as an offender and took shelter of the Lord desired to show him mercy. Nija Rupa Prabhu Tari Koraila Darshan Chaturbuja Rupa Prabhu Hoila Takan. To show him mercy, Mahaprabhu allowed him to see his Vishnu form. Thus he immediately assumed 4 hands.
I love the painting depictions of this.
Okay, so Dekaila Tariage Chaturbuja Rup Pache Shama Vamshi Mukha Swabikiya Swarup Dekaila Tariage Chaturbuja Rup Pache Shama Vamshi Mukha Swakiya Swarup. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first showed him the 4-handed form and then appeared before him in his original form of Krishna with a blackish complexion and a flute to his lips. Deki Sarvabhauma Dandavat Koripadi Puna Uti Stuti Kori Dui Kora Judi. When Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw the form of Lord Krishna manifested in Mahaprabhu, he immediately fell down flat to offer his obeisances. Then he stood up with folded hands. Then he stood up and with folded hands began to offer prayers. Prabhu Kripaya Tara Surila Sabatattva Nama Premadana Adi Varnena Mahatva. By the mercy of the Lord, all truths were revealed to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and he could understand the importance of chanting the holy names and distributing love of Godhead everywhere. Well, tomorrow I'll continue with this, but you can see Mahaprabhu sat there quietly like a perfect student, just hearing from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But when Sarvabhauma says, well, why don't you ask any questions? Then Mahaprabhu began to say, yes, I don't ask any questions because I already understand the Vedanta Sutra. I just don't understand your explanation. So what's the point in asking questions? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was stunned, and Mahaprabhu explained that your explanations cover the real meaning. And then Mahaprabhu gave the correct understanding of the Vedanta Sutra. Then Mahaprabhu said that not only defeated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, but defeated in his commentary the conclusions of Shankaracharya and showed the mistakes in Shankaracharya's philosophy and his commentary of Sharirag Bhashya. Then Mahaprabhu said, but even someone self-realized, even one who's in perfect, so-called perfect understanding of impersonalism, that person, just as Sukadeva Goswami and the 4 Kumaras were attracted by the Lord, even though they were in self-realized position, even a self-realized soul is attracted by the Lord. And then Mahaprabhu said the Atmarama verse, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, oh, I have a desire to hear your explanation. No, you explain it first, then I'll then I'll add something. Again, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya goes off 9 different explanations, citing all rules of logic. But then Mahaprabhu says, you are certainly like Brihaspati, but you should know there's another understanding of the Atmarama verse. And Mahaprabhu gave the correct understanding. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could understand. I have not been defeated by an ordinary person. Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself. So then the Lord showed mercy. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya after that, he became a great follower of Mahaprabhu and a great devotee. He became transformed. And Guru Maharaj commented that when Mahaprabhu returned to South India, he said, with the exception of Ramananda Roy, I've been through South India, the place of the Acharyas, but I could not find anybody but as good as you, Sarvabhauma. And Srila Sridhar said, in this way, Mahaprabhu praised his own creation. He made Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya devotee. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very much dedicated to Mahaprabhu. And later, when Mahaprabhu went to Benares, Prakashananda Saraswati, the leader of the Mayavadi sannyasis there, he even said, we know that before Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya he was great, but this Mahaprabhu has some kind of mystic, magical potency that everybody who meets him thinks that he's God. And now, even though he was a great scholar, this Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he's also come under the influence of this Chaitanya. So this is Mahaprabhu's conversion of what we're going on. This chapter is called The Liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So I'm going to now sing Hari Harai. We'll continue tomorrow. This chapter is very beautiful. It's a very, very beautiful chapter. And somebody like Guru Maharaj, somebody like Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he could present these kind of conclusions and arguments so wonderfully that he could establish Mahaprabhu's philosophy with anyone. He could defeat anyone. And that was the power of Guru Maharaj. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Madanamohan Giridhari Gopinatha Madanamohan
Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Girirani Chuki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tara Sadashi Shimad Shila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Sunanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Shila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Shila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shiva Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuka Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishwavaranya Jayam Vishnupad Vishwavaranya Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadev Dham Ki Jai. Shri Dham Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Kuladev Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Manarani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Radha Kunda Kulindi Yamuna Jo Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All assembled devotees Ki Jai. Lord Pramanam.
Hari Bol. Shila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki.